Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. I think, simulcasting the correct way this time. I think that I have it all sorted out. I am over here on the YouTube machine, and over here I am talking to folks on Twitch. There's no one in the chat, but it is set up. The camera is set up for Twitch, so we will see if people are able to join for this last minute chat that I decided to do. I was not intending to go live. I'm going to be completely honest about that. I was not intending to go live. I have to do some recording tonight. It's been a very, very long week for me, and I'm very much looking forward to the weekend. And I was not going to go live because of that. And then I decided I decided I was going to go live, and I was going to come on here and chat and make some stuff up and maybe have a little fun along the way. So let me say hello to some comic book soldiers that have joined me here in the chat. Give a huge shout out to my man, Master Blaster. How you doing, brother? Geek Aficionado, how you doing? EE, my man, Nick. Maynard is in the house. Wes is here. Good, no good comics. Breezy, how you doing, brother? Sith Lord is in the house. Bello, Ephraim, it is good to see you guys. Charlie is in here. Ian, how you doing? It's good to see you. Thomas is in the house. Want to definitely welcome you guys. Tony Trombetta, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Hawaiian Punch in your face. How you doing, brother? It is definitely good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. We are in here doing a little bit of a last minute chat, as I was saying to people. My man Chuck is over here on Twitch. And Kingpin, Dennis, my man Dennis, how you doing? Dennis, it's good to see you, brother. I appreciate you guys joining me over here on Twitch. I am trying to figure out a way to not double my work. I am trying to figure out a way not to double my work by doing multiple separate broadcasts, because that's a lot of work, right? But I do want to try to leverage the various platforms that are available to me, and my hope is that I'll be able to make a little magic happen with that. So hopefully you guys can kind of bear with me. So Nick, man, I really do dislike braggadocious people. I dislike braggadocious people. You know, this guy puts up a post on the Instagram with all this fancy art from Dave Cockrum. I mean, just gorgeous stuff. It's just so braggadocious. Nick, congrats, brother. That piece that you picked up today, that's official. That is official. It is really, really well done. You should be very proud of having that in your collection. Fantastic pieces of original art by a legend, brother. Well done. So we are going to make up some stuff. We are going to just have a little bit of an impromptu chat here. I really don't have a true agenda, but there are at least two things that I want to chat about here. And then we will definitely chat about whatever else you guys might have on your minds. And one of the more pressing things that readily comes to my mind is the CGC signing that was announced earlier today. It feels like every day these folks are making some announcements, and you guys know my opinions of this. I think it's really fantastic. I think it's fantastic for us as collectors. I think it's fantastic for the creators. I think it's definitely a good thing for CGC from a financial standpoint. And it's one of those things that is being done that is a win-win-win, right? And if things can be done where everybody benefits from it, I think that that's a good thing, right? When it's a little one-sided, where one party benefits, that's kind of where I start to struggle. So the announcement today was around Mike Zeck. Mike Zeck, the very talented Mike Zeck, is actually doing a CGC signing. And as soon as I see this cover of Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars #8, I automatically think of my man Hydra Collectibles from the UK. And this guy has a really awesome Mike Zeck remark where Zeck turned Spider-Man into Venom. And according to what Hydra Collectibles has told me, it was the first time that anyone has essentially asked to have him remark Spider-Man on the cover of Secret Wars 8 as Venom. And I think it's just really done. It's really creative. And as you guys know, it's sometimes hard to come up with unique stuff. And I thought that was pretty unique. I had never seen it before. I think he did this like almost a year ago or something like that. So shout out to my man Hydra Collectibles over in the UK for being ahead of the curve. And now everyone is going to copy it. Everyone is gonna copy it. Shout out to ER Medic. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Who is that? Multitask, need the multipass from Fifth Element. All right, so there is a new signing. My man Mike Zeck is actually going to be here doing an in-house signing down at CGC. Thank you, CGC, for keeping the summer Comic-Con spirit alive with this series of in-house private signings. These events are an excellent opportunity for all of us creators and fans while we patiently wait for the show doors to open again. And I think that's a really fantastic sentiment that he put there. They are CGC, that is trying to do some really cool stuff here, man. I don't know if you guys saw the signing that they did with Perez. What was cool is that, you know, he was interacting with fans, and this isn't the first time. They did a little bit of this with Clayton Crane and even with Tom McFarlane, but he was signing books and he was carrying on a conversation with the people that he was signing for. And it's just really one of those things where it creates like this immersive experience and this experience that is, you know, not too dissimilar, if you will, from standing across the table. I think the big benefit is that you don't have to stand in line. You can just, you know, be Skyped or Zoomed or whatever in. So the price that they're charging for Mike Zeck's signature here is about $70. And this includes like what we've seen recently with others, the signature, expedited turnaround time. Of course, there's some extra costs and extra time if you decide to get the books, you know, cleaned and pressed and all that kind of stuff. But the deadline for this one is August 3rd. So you still have a whole lot of time to actually do this one. But, you know, they continue to add to their roster of in-house signings. And I think this is just really cool stuff that the CGC is actually doing. You guys actually over here on the Twitch machine can't see that. So I just definitely apologize. It's I don't have it set up to be able to simulcast it to two different screens. So over on YouTube, they're able to see that. But Dennis, yeah, that Dennis says Secret Wars #8, the first cover appearance of Venom. In the remark world. So that was one big thing that I wanted to talk about. One Wolf Gun, how you doing, brother? Let me scroll down, see what you guys are talking about. Again, if you guys throw it up in all caps, if it's addressed to me, that actually helps me to be able to see it. This guy's just completely inappropriate. Pretty fly for a Filipino guy, just completely inappropriate. So earlier today, I had back-to-back conference calls. For work, back-to-back conference calls, like literally like all day, right? And so I had an interview that I had to do with somebody, a pretty senior guy that I was interviewing for a job at my company. And so I knew that I needed to not wear like a red soldier shirt because that's probably not the right professional look for like an interview, right? So I decided to throw on a collared shirt. And, you know, I was having a little fun. So I'm out there with my headphones on and, you know, looking all professional from the waist up, right? From the waist down, it was like shorts, my shoes, I'm stepping on the back of the shoes, and I have on, you know, shorts and short socks. And it was just like, hey, that is the best that I can do today, is to be appropriately dressed from the waist up. So that's what pretty fly for a Filipino guy is actually talking about right there. Flash fan, catch it on replay, brother. I definitely appreciate you swinging by for a hot moment. Dan P says, I have YouTube and Twitch streams on. That's what's up. I definitely appreciate that, brother. Let me see. Randy Resnake. Oh, brother, don't even get me started. As soon as I saw that, man, I thought about Randy, what you created, brother. I thought about that fantastic cover that you put together for me, the recreation. And you know, Zeck has a lot of really amazing covers out there. He has a lot of really fantastic covers that you can picture when you think about Mike Zeck. And his signature is also fantastic. I think he has one, in my estimation, one of the more easily recognizable signatures that are out there, right? He's very consistent in like how he writes it. It tends to be in like the same place on the same books all the time, at least again, based upon my observation. But I definitely dig the guy. I dig him for sure. So Scrolling down through the comments here. What is this? Did anyone read the Joker 80th anniversary from? No one read it. Everyone just bought it though. I received a lot of posts from a lot of people like, hey, I just got my books, a couple of video clips and things like that from people that bought multiple books. So shout out to everybody that was able to make it to the comic shops to support them and pick up this really cool book. So I have not picked it up, to be honest with you. What is this? Wes says, going to save up a bit and send my full run of Secret Wars. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. I'll tell you, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I one of the first things that I did when I picked up this new collection is that I actually pulled out a really nice set of Secret Wars books. And I actually have many of them in the collection, not every single one, but I have many of them in the collection already. And I'm gonna be honest, the ones that were in this 100K collection made mine look really bad. And so I ended up swapping a lot of those books into the collection and a lot of mine and back into the bins. But there were multiple copies of those books that were really high grade. So yeah, man, I think it's a good move. I think it's a good move. It's going to cost you a grip at $70 per book. It's going to cost you a lot of money, but that it's really cool. It's one of those fantastic story arcs out there. So definitely a good move, man. Definitely a good move. Scrolling through the comments here, seeing what else you guys scrolling through, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Just got my first signed comic book from CGC. Congrats on that. Scrolling through the comments here. What is this? The 80th has the origin story for Punchline. I must say, now that I know the origin of her name and who she is, I dig her character a lot more. That's cool. I have not read it, but that is definitely cool. There was a lot of speculation that she's Harley Quinn's daughter. There was that other character. I can't remember what the book was. It had the woman with the almost like clown makeup on that was, I think, choking Batman. I actually found like 10 copies of that in the collection. I don't know if any of what I just mentioned is true or if she's related to those characters. I'd like to read the book. I like to read the book to kind of see, what the deal is with the character, because people are very excited about that character. People are very excited about that one. So I may actually try to check that one out myself. Let me see what you guys. My man Chuck over here says, grabbed a Joker and picked up the Bill S cover, which is awesome. Already hearing grumblings from LCS about the DC situation. Oh man, the local comic shops are not happy, man. They are not happy. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I've caught a couple of live streams and things like that from shop owners that are just not pleased at all. So yeah, I mean, hopefully this thing resolves itself. Hopefully it's better. But right now it is not necessarily a pretty picture. So the other thing I wanted to do, and I told you guys there were like two things I wanted to do. The second thing I wanted to do was to give a shout out. I want to give a huge shout out to my man Master Blaster. And he told me he was going to send me something. And he didn't tell me what it was, but he was like, it's not worthy of an unboxing. It's not worthy of a live unboxing or a pre-recorded unboxing or anything like that. And I completely disagree. Completely disagree with him. He underestimates himself. I opened this box up and I lost it. I laughed so hard at what I pulled out of this box that Master Blaster sent over to me. And I think many of you know that I am a huge fan of military things, military inspired things. I have a nice little collection of challenge coins back there that have been sent to me very generously by multiple people associated with shipping hubs and the military and EMS and police and all that kind of stuff. And but I've never received. And the Swoldier is kind of based upon that, right? I'm wearing camo ring and military like watch, right? I love military inspired stuff, right? But I've never received an AOK of this sort before. Never received an AOK of this sort, and it caught me off guard, and I laughed like no one's business. The guy sent to me some beef stew. He sent me beef stew, which specifically is menu 9 beef stew. I don't know what 1 through 8 is, but number 9 is beef stew. He sent me MREs. He sent me Department of Defense MREs. And it says war fighter recommended, war fighter tested, war fighter approved. This is official stuff. Official stuff. I hope I didn't get you in trouble. I shouldn't get you in trouble. If I did, I will delete this message like nobody's business. He sent me MREs. He sent me beef stew. And then he also sent me maple sausage, which is menu 17. I don't know how an item is a menu, but neither here nor there. Maple sausage. I will promise you, I was going to say I would not eat this, but I might, because that might actually make for a fun video. But Keith says, grew up on those, army brat here. That's what's up. So he hooked me up, man, with menu 9 and menu 17. Can I get a carb, brother? Can I get a carb? That's all I'm saying to you. I need a little bit of carb. So I got a kick out of that. He sent me a couple of other things, a little nice card that was in there. And then he also hooks me up with a really cool t-shirt. And again, just really, really nice stuff. I am very, very appreciative. I'll show it over here for you guys over on the Twitch machine. Very appreciative, very thoughtful gift that I honestly, I enjoyed it. I don't know if I'll eat it. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't know if I'll eat it. I may try it. But I got a kick out of it. So what is this? Chuck says, awesome. The scout troop used to eat those on long hikes that grab it. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. I read that one already. All right. Somebody finally spotted it. The beef stew is the best one, says someone finally spotted it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I am not completely surprised by the person that spotted this. The person that finally spotted the thing that is hidden in the back over there. The Saga of Swamp Thing #1 is a new slab that has been added to the wall. And we took down, what did we take down? We took down Jim Lee's Wildcats #2. I think we took that down. The silver foil, we replaced it with Saga of the Swamp Thing #1. Gorgeous cover back there. But here's the thing. It's actually not my book. It is, let me scroll down on the comments here. The one, now everyone's claiming to have seen it. I am teasing. That is actually not my book. That is going to be someone's book out there. Someone that is watching this live stream is going to be the recipient of that book. That is potentially next week or the week after. I don't know. I haven't decided. It will be a Go Collect giveaway. I decided to throw it up there. And because I thought it was a cool book, that's why I decided to buy it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw this on the wall because I think it'll be cool to have it up there. So it is up there, and eventually it will come down and it will make its way back out to the comic book community as one of the Go Collect giveaways. So definitely stay tuned to the channel for that. And on that note, this week's book that we are going to be giving away. It is Masters of the Universe. Really, really cool book, 9.8 right here. And if people are worried about the spelling for the phrase, and please do not put the phrase in the chat. If people are worried about the spelling of the phrase, do not worry. If you spell the second word correct, you are going to be okay. A lot of people have messaged me asking me that question. I'm actually appreciative that they asked me the question privately versus posting it up somewhere. So I want to give a huge shout out to all those people that handled it the right way. If you have a question, if you've entered the giveaway, as long as you spelled the second word correctly, you are okay. All right. You are okay. Let me see. Wall pedigree. For sure. Part of it was, I was like, somebody might actually get a kick out of that. Right. Somebody might actually get a kick out of not just getting the book, but it hung on the wall. It was in a video or two, it was in a live stream or two. So that's part of the reason why I did it. I thought it might be a little bit of some extra cool factor. One, it's a dope book, right? Let's not confuse that. But the second thing is it will show up in a couple of videos and stuff like that, that you guys will see here down the line because it's been hanging up there. So what is it? That's cool. Be hard to A-OK if I You can't A-OK everything away, my friend. I'll tell you that right now. Some things just have to stay. Some things have to stay with you. So what you're saying is it's rigged. No, it's not rigged. It's not rigged. What is this? Go Collect is the best. Yeah. So I think the Go Collect video went live yesterday. I only watched part of it. I haven't finished watching it, but I will try to finish it here. I don't always enjoy watching myself back, and I haven't had a chance to watch that. Part of the reason, honestly, why I watch it back is not to see myself, but I watch it back because I want to see how the guy edited it, because I think he introduces some cool stuff in there, and I like to see that kind of stuff and see how he handled my voice versus what he shows and how he throws stuff up in there. So I get a kick out of that. So I watch it, and I'm also just very jealous that I can't afford an editor to make me look good like that all the time with whiz bang graphics and stuff like that. So scrolling through the comments here. Come on, man. There are a couple of things that I just enjoy saying, like scrolling. What is this? Need that was on Reggie's walls. Well done, bro. Well done. I can take a picture of it like they do and send you the Polaroid to show proof that it was actually on that wall. You know what I'm saying? It was on my wall, Gotta have fun with this stuff, man. Got to have fun with this stuff. Floppy, you never know. You never know when floppy might be the phrase, man. You just never know. I'm gonna tell you right now, I actually come up with the phrases on the fly. I really do. Come up with the phrases on the fly. I'll be recording the video and you might see me, like my cadence might actually change. I might slow down. I might pause for just a moment. And that's because I'm actually thinking like, what phrase am I going to use? Because I honestly just do it on the fly, unfortunately, grates my cheese. That's a good one. I do like that one. Anyway, let me move on. So, what is this? They were great. Oh, thank you, bro. Sully 2 King says those were great edits of the CGC and collector's insurance vids. Thank you, man. Thank you. Bro, what I realized, man, is that I want to say that when I originally did those videos, like at least a year ago, the channel was only at like 4,000 subs, and now we're north of 8,000. That's a lot of people that may not have had the opportunity to watch that video, and it's a bit much, I think, to expect people to go back and watch all the old content. And I know that there's a lot of you go back and watch that old stuff. You guys are watching videos from the kitchen days, and I see the metrics, so I know you're watching those videos. But what I decided to do was, because I keep getting some of the same questions over and over about insurance, about CGC, and about the grading, about Newton rings, about this, that, it occurred to me that it might be advantageous for me to take that long video, right? That hour and 20-minute video, and edit it down to something that was a little more concise, something that was chapterized, that made it easier for people to find the answers to the questions that they may be having directly from the experts. And so if you look in the description of those two videos that have been released, the CGC and the Collect Insure, what I did is I actually went through and chapterized each. Well, so what I did is I first edited the long video down to small segments, and I put intro slides for each one, so they were kind of self-contained and encapsulated. And then I went back and I actually put markers there so that you guys could jump in the description to a segment of the video. And it took me a long time to collapse it, to edit it down, to do the chapters, and then to kind of build those jump cuts in there, if you will. But I think that it was time well spent, because I think that people have a lot of questions. And I think that with this consolidated approach, or collapsed approach, if you will, a concise approach, it will allow people to get the answers that they actually need in a more timely fashion. So for the folks over on Twitch, how do you guys hear me? Do you hear me okay? Because I have a microphone here, and then I have a microphone on my shirt, and that's the one that you guys are hearing from. So I'm not sure, how does the sound come out on Twitch? I get a lot of questions about CGC. I get a lot of questions about collectible insurance. And so that's why I decided to go back and edit those videos down to make it easier for you guys. So Somebody talking about, thank you, Tina. Blue wrenches, man. Shout out to the blue wrenches. I definitely appreciate you guys. You guys see a lot of stuff that I don't necessarily see. So I definitely appreciate you guys supporting what I'm trying to do here and keeping people in the loop. Yeah. A lot of people, man, missed those live streams because those were back in the day. You know, that was back in the day when I was still trying to get my internet to work here, right? When I was doing wireless video at, you know, whatever K I'm trying to use right now. And we had a lot of technical glitches, on my side, on that of the guests that were joining me on the show. And so when I went back to re-edit it, I actually tried to cut a lot of that stuff out of there. I cut out the banter between us. I cut out the technical glitches, and I kind of collapsed it down. And yeah, so hopefully people benefit from that revised version that was put up. So scrolling through the comments here, let me go over here. Chuck says it's fine. Thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate that. You know, again, I'm trying not to double my work by doing 2 separate live streams for Twitch and also for YouTube. So I'm trying to find a way to broadcast to both of them at the same time with the hope that the experience is somewhat good on the Twitch side, because you guys don't have the ability of being able to see the different things that I throw up on screen. It's a little bit of a different experience, but hopefully still an enjoyable one. So again, if there's things you guys want to chat about, throw it up in all caps because it'll actually help me. Man, latest addition to his PC, Adam, Legend of the Blue Marvel. Which one, bro? Which one, DJ? Did you get all of them or did you get number 1? It honestly doesn't matter because Blue Marvel is a dope character. He is a dope character, and I have a copy in the collection of number 1. Well, I technically have 2 copies. One's ripped, but you know, whatever. And then I have a really nice copy. Those are the only ones. I don't have any of the additional issues, but I wish that I did. But it is a really awesome read. It really is. All of your interviews have been top notch. Looking forward, man, brother. I definitely appreciate that. You know, a lot of people have been getting in touch with me as of late. You know, a lot of people have been getting in touch with me as of late, kind of asking me if I would be willing to do, you know, interviews, right? And I really do take that as a compliment. And you know, I don't know if you guys, I think you guys know this. Like, my background is actually in communications, right? I was a School of C major, and it wasn't radio, TV, film, or broadcasting or any of that other stuff. But I was a writer. But communication is kind of my thing, right? I don't have many talents, but I can talk up a storm and write a story, right? And so I spend a lot of time, energy, and effort in actually thinking about who am I going to be talking with? How do I organize this in some kind of logical flow that actually moves us from, you know, hey, how you doing? I've never met you before or even spoken to you in some cases, to you being my best friend and you know, giving me all of this information, and do it in an entertaining kind of way that involves the audience. It is not necessarily an easy task, but it is a fun task. It is something that I absolutely enjoy. And it's nice when people are like, hey, you do really good interviews. It is awesome, man. It really is. It really is. And I'm very appreciative of people taking the time to say thank you. So nice to be an influencer, man. I try, brother. I try to use my power for good. Let me see what else you guys are talking about. Wes is asking if I'm sending any books. I'm not. There are, I'm gonna be honest with you, Wes. There are several projects that I'm working on in the background, and you know, I have to stay true to that focus. You know what I'm saying? And each one of these signings that come out, I literally will go to my bins and look, and I'm like, man, I want to send that book. I should send that book. And I go through this thing of, man, that would be cool to have them signed. It's not that much money. But again, as you guys know, I'm a big fan of, I have a goal and I'm trying to work towards that goal. And because of that, I decide not to send things in. You know, it's definitely enticing. It's definitely appealing. It's definitely something that I would want. But I have to resist those urges and stay true to what I'm working on. And I'll tell you, when you guys start to see some of the stuff, man, Patreon members know what I'm talking about. Some of it, depending upon your level of Patreon, you know more than others. But Patreon members are aware of a lot of the stuff that I'm actually working on, and it's really cool stuff. And this is not to say go be a Patreon member, but it is to say that if you want insight, if you want a purview to some of what happens behind the scenes, that is a good way for you guys to actually go. So let me scroll down on comments here. Well, I lost a comment. I lost a couple of quick. It's true. It's true. I didn't really realize that until like some things happened. I was like, oh, I can influence that. That's when it actually kind of scared me. I'm gonna be completely honest. It kind of scared me when it happened. What's the next big book you want to add to your PC? There's a couple, man. There's a couple. And it's like, I would like to mention them to you, but if I mention them to you with great power, as we just talked about it has an adverse effect on those things. So I'm not going to mention those things. I will tell you that AF-15 is definitely always on the radar. People will then ask, how close are you to buying it? And then I will say, stay tuned for the video. I have to be a little cryptic in some places, and it's not, I'm not trying to be coy. It's just, I'm just trying to not jack stuff up. What is this? 100K projects, man. Nope. 100K. Well, no. So I will take that back. There is at least one 100K project that is in the work. But I'm talking about things above and beyond the 100K collection. But there is something that you guys will probably see in maybe about a week or so related to the 100K collection that I'll be talking about. I've been working on it for a little bit here. You guys will see more of that. And then there's more to come, right? It is all about progression. This will lead to this next thing, which leads to this next thing, which leads to that thing that I'm really aiming for. And each one of these things are just really fun milestones for me to kind of tick down. But in about a week and a half or so, you guys will kind of see some stuff. Regie, do you read any of those massive Marvel history books or just comics themselves? I don't read any of the massive Marvel history stuff. Most of what I read, honestly, is just straight comics. And I kind of go with the flow. Like, I've been reading a lot of Justice League right now, a lot of the Dark Side Wars. I'm really enjoying that story arc, right? The various gods, Shazam, the god of death, the combination of the Death Racer and Flash. Like, there's a lot of really cool stuff that I'm reading right now, and I'm just kind of meandering, right? I'm reading that. I'm reading Mr. Miracle at the same time. Like, I'm just meandering and just enjoying comics. The historical stuff, not so much. I do a lot of research, but not necessarily in book form. Most of it is like online Google searches and that kind of stuff. So, Jeff, glad you were able to make it, brother. I definitely get having to get up early, so definitely enjoy you to be hanging out for just a little bit. So, Tony Gibretta, my man from EGS, how you doing? He said, I must say it was a pleasure to be interviewed by Regie. It was a true man. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. I mean, the thing is, people will say to me, why didn't you press them on this, that, or the other? Why didn't you push harder? My thing is, I don't play gotcha with interview hosts or guests, right? I invite you on. You will be treated with respect. I will be prepared to ask you questions that will allow you to share whatever it is that we are talking about. And I tell people, however a guest chooses to answer a question is telling, right? Did they answer the question? Did they dodge the question? Were they sincere in what they said? Did they evade part of the question that was being asked? All of those things are very telling, right? But my goal whenever a guest comes on, and whether it's EGS, Tony or CGC or whoever, it doesn't matter. Everybody gets treated with respect and has an opportunity to share their thoughts and to let their positions and their services, et cetera, be heard by the people. And then the people can decide what they want to do, So, whoa, man, me too. Me too. I love to get one of those commissions. That's cool. If you go after, brother, let me know what you decide to get. But scrolling down through some of the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. I am a little behind on these things, so I'm trying to scroll down. Scrolling. John Wick. I just watched those. What was it? Movie 1 and 2. Fantastic. Scrolling through. Do you have FF52? I guess that's directed at me. The answer would be no. No, I do not have that book. I was actually on my 2018 want list, and the prices got out of control, and I just never bought it because it became the bloody ocean, and I backed away from it. So scrolling down through the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Again, if there's stuff you want to talk about, throw it up in all caps because it'll actually help me to see it a little bit more. How do I feel about PGX? I think PGX is a great option for people out there that want to have their comics graded. And I think that they have suffered in the past by maybe making some poor decisions and things like that. But I will tell you, I have no firsthand experience with PGX. I have zero firsthand experience. I've never purchased one of their slabs. I've never held one of their slabs. I've certainly never submitted one of my books to them. When I originally sat down and evaluated the grading companies that were out there at the time, PGX was on the list, and I did research on PGX and the others, and asked myself some tough questions about what was important to me. What services did I want? What where do I want to spend my money? And I opted for what you see surrounding here in the room, right? I have used only two grading companies, EGS, and that's Tony in this room, and CGC. Those are the only two grading companies I've ever submitted books to. And my experience with both, honestly, has been fantastic. Not perfect, not flawless, but my experience has been positive. And at the end of the day, I would definitely encourage people, if you have a desire to evaluate the grading companies, do your research, and then ask yourself what services, what features, what's important to you and to your collection, and then spend your money that way. If I could choose one person to do a CGC signing, who would it be? Jim Lee or Mark Bagley. Either one of those individuals, A-okay with me, and neither one of them is signed up right now. But those are the two guys that I really enjoy. And a lot of it is just from childhood stuff. I would like to meet Jim Lee. I think Jim Lee is a cool guy. I've never heard anyone say anything bad about him. Same thing with Mark Bagley, man. Bags, I've never heard anything say anything bad about either one of these guys. For me, Bagley, fantastic Spider-Man. His Incredible Hulk, in my mind, is also pretty darn good. His Carnage, pretty darn good, right? 361, right? Great cover. With Jim Lee, it is Uncanny X-Men 271. That is my Jim Lee cover, right? Jim Lee, X-Men all day long. Those are the two guys that I basically grew up with a kid. Love both of those guys' artwork. It would be a pleasure to meet the two of those guys, and also to be able to get a commission and all of that other kind of stuff from these guys. No, wait a minute. No, I don't think I had 52. I had the first appearance of the Inhumans that I gave away, but I have never owned 52. I've never owned that one. Would I ever write my own comic? I would, except I don't have that talent. I don't have the creative talent to do like comics. I'm more of a take a lot of information, collapse it down into something that actually makes sense, and then present it in a way that can be absorbed by people. That is more my skill set, taking lots of stuff that is complicated, making it simple and digestible. That's my skill. Creative writing, not the best at that. Really not the best at that. So it would be dope if I could, man, but unfortunately, again, it's not my thing. If I send you a PGX lab, would you hang it up on the pedigree? AF15 PGX all day long. Send it to me, brother. I'll put it on the wall. As soon as it walks in, I walk it from the front door into the back wall. As soon as it comes in, AF15 PGX all day long. Let me see what else you guys are talking about. John Byrne would be, I have mixed emotions about John Byrne, right? I'm over here on the Twitch machine. If there's things you guys want to talk about as well, throw it up in all caps and I'll definitely address it. I have mixed emotions with John Byrne. I think that John Byrne is a super talented dude. I mean, I'm pulling out of his, Wonder Woman books out of this large collection. Super talented guy. I haven't always heard that people have had the best experiences with him. And it's one of those things of, do I want to just appreciate the work, or do I want my appreciation of the work to potentially be tarnished by a bad experience? You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what I think about with him and a few other artists. You know, I think about those things because I want to still be able to appreciate the work, and I don't want a bad experience to tarnish my view of the work and for me to think negatively about that person. I would rather just look at the artwork and be like, that's a dope cover. She-Hulk's that he did, ooh, fantastic stuff, right? Super talented guy. Bagley, Jim Lee, Jim Star. I cannot disagree with that list. I cannot disagree with that. Jim Starling's work on the cosmic landscape is the stuff of legend. It is the stuff of legend. Super talented guy that is now back, not just writing, but also drawing. He is doing a book. I want to say it was like for DC or something like that. He's actually drawing again. And I don't think he's drawn in a very long time, at least not professionally. So scrolling through the comments here, I'm definitely behind. Man, sign me up, brother. Sign me up. They call me Bruce, says I have a Jim Lee and Terry Moore at CBCS to get verified. That's what's up. Bagley is amazing. Yes, he is. I still got that CGC 9.8 Ultimate Fallout number 5. I know, bro. Bro, have you seen the prices on that Joker? That book is crazy. It is crazy. And I had a conversation with somebody the other day and they were like, hey, what do you think about the book? I think the book is Red Ocean. They were like, are you going to try to buy one? Nope, I'm not. I'm going to sit this one out. I'm going to keep my powder dry. As tempting as it is, I'm going to keep my powder dry, man. So I would agree, Dan, that cover, X-Men cover with Cat, Wolverine, and Black Widow. Yes. I can't remember. Was it 274, 275? I can't remember which book that is. I know exactly which one you're talking about. I can picture it because it's in a box right down here. Got a couple of special sugar boxes that at some point I may let you guys see what's inside it. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Scrolling through. You know why? Somebody's asking why Uncanny X-Men 271. It is just a book that I purchased as a teenager. It is a book that I read over and over as a kid. I really liked how Jim Lee rendered Wolverine back then. I don't like how he did all the characters, but that cover with Cameron Hodge and Wolverine to me is just it's one of those covers that when I close my eyes, I can still picture that cover. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing special about that book. Nothing special other than it takes me back to Kenosha Street in Oak Park, Michigan. That's the power of comics. X-Men 271. That is the book. Scrolling down through some of the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. First, you will never see me do a go. Well, never mind. Let me not say that. Let me not say that. Joe, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you, my friend. Welcome. Scrolling down through the comments here, see what else you guys are talking about. Let me see. Ultimate Fallout now with Miles Morales. Yeah, I think I saw that. Pop up the other day. Got the entire run of Ultimate Fallout run when it was Blue Ocean. Yeah, so don't rub it in, Sully 2 Kings. Don't rub it in, brother. Okay, all right. Not a good look for you. No, seriously. You know, the thing about it, man, is I just finished reading an article for the Go Collect blog that I'm gonna record the video tonight, but I was reading it. And, you know, the thing about it is the best way, in my opinion, to invest and to speculate in comics, if you will, is to buy books before they become super popular, right? Is to take some time and actually sit down and think, where is the market headed? How significant is this character? Is there something important about this character or this story arc or this team or whatever it happens to be, to have that forward thought instead of being reactionary? You are proactive. You are anticipating where things are going. That way you're like Sully 2 Kings. I think it was Sully 2 Kings that picked it up. Yeah, Sully 2 Kings that picked up, you know, this run for $50, right? That is the way to be, man. And again, that's why part of the reason why I struggle with paying so much money for that particular book right now, because in the back of my mind, I'm like, I can buy a collection for potentially less than that book, and that collection could have that book in it, and maybe even a couple of copies, right? So that's like my mindset is, do I buy the single book or do I buy the collection and find the book in the collection? You know, that is part of what I think about. And then it's also a struggle. I struggle pulling out, you know, that kind of crazy money out of my pocket to buy those books when I can take that money and go buy something really cool, Silver Age, you know. So that's it. Wesley, question. If you go to my website, regiecollects.com, you go to the partners tab. There is a post there that has a description of the wall mounts and also a discount code for you. So if you head over there, all the details are there for you, brother. Let me see. Yeah, I was able to pick up Ultimate Fallout 4 about 2 years ago but there you go. You see what I'm saying? I'll double your money right now. I'll double your money. Let me see. It's you guys are over there having a good conversation. What is this? There was one over here. What you see is what you get. I think that was directed at me. I'm pretty transparent for the most part. I am pretty transparent. I tell you guys exactly what's going on. Yeah, it's a room tour. I think Tina's trying to help out somebody that was looking for the wall mounts. Wes was looking for those. So again, let me see if I can even share my screen here with you guys real quick. Take that off the screen. We'll share it. We'll try to be a little more helpful than just giving general guidance. So we'll go to flex.com. We'll pop over here. We'll go to the partners tab. Can you guys see that? Yeah, you guys can see that. All right. So if you scroll over here, if you look collector mount right there, save 15% of your entire order of wall mounts for comics and more when you use code Regie Collects. You click on that thing and let's see if you can see that pop up. No, you cannot see that pop up, but there's a pop up there that has a lot of the details, goes right to the website. So you can actually see collector mount right there. That's what I use. And I've been using them consistently for a couple of years now. There are several videos, room tour videos to Tina's point where you can actually see, when I took them out, I struggled with them for like the first time. I was like, these things don't work. And how does this work? And I don't understand this thing. Rah, rah, rah. But then there is a rhyme and a rhythm to it, right? These are really, in my opinion, it's a good product. And I've never had a problem with it. I've never had a book fall off the wall. I've never cracked one. I've never bent one, any other kind of stuff. But there is definitely a way to assemble it, right? I'll tell you, for example, so there is a screw on there and the screw has a square base. And you have to make sure you get the square base in the slit on the back of the mount. You get that in there, you hold it with your finger, you tighten it down. That thing works like a charm. So shout out to my man, Nick. What is this? 18 of my 50-ish books have been graded. Maximum cartage coming back. Wow, that's pretty cool. Congrats. And thank you for the super chat, brother. I definitely appreciate that. He has a nice collection, man. I follow him on the Instagram machine. Definitely a pretty nice collection over there. Shout out to you. And again, shout out to you for that great piece of artwork that you posted earlier today. What are my thoughts on Venom? I honestly don't buy a lot of those later prints. If the prints speak to me, then I buy them. Like there was a couple of the Red Goblin that I picked up, later prints. I bought them. I don't pick up a lot of that stuff, to be honest with you. And I think if that cover speaks to you, if that artist speaks to you, I say buy it. That's not my jam. Because you can spend a lot of money on a single book trying to buy up all the variants and stuff like that. It's tough. That's a tough game to play. And I just don't play that game, but again, that's not to say that you shouldn't. It's not to say that you shouldn't. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Another comic shop owner right there up in Berkeley. It's good to see you, brother. Thank you for swinging by just for a moment to say hello. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Let me see. Actually, I screw them to the wall right through the CGC case. I screw it right to the wall. If you check out the room tour, there's a lot of detail in there. In the room tour, there's definitely a lot of detail on the website for the vendor. I live in California. And as a resident of California, I want to ensure that my valuables are as secure as possible, given the fact that the earth moves here. And I like to not take chances. And the other thing is I have young children, right? I have young children that don't touch my stuff. They're doing much better with touching things now. But to that question, I use drywall screws. And in fact, if you watch the room tour videos, you will literally see the whole process that I go through to mount the comics to the wall. So you may want to check that video out. If you search for Regie Collects room tour, I think there's like 6 or 7 room tour videos, and a couple of them have the collector mounts in there, but I use that. The owners will tell you, because I speak to the owners of collector mount, they will tell you that you can use command strips. Command strips give you the ability to have a lot more versatility and flexibility with your wall and your design and that kind of stuff. I opted for a more secure approach, and that worked for me. But command strips will work quite nicely. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Let me see what else you guys are talking about. You guys are hilarious. Let me see. Scrolling through some of the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Wow. That's brutal. That's brutal. Nick is saying that his favorite local comic shop is closing after 44 years. That's crazy, man. That's tough. That's tough. Right there. What is this? Through the house. I guess, is this directed to me? Any other comic paraphernalia throughout the house? Oh no, my brother, there was nothing else in the house. No. The deal that the wife and I had was that I bought the house for, I got the comic book room. So I hold true to my agreement. So no, there is literally no other comic anything elsewhere in the house other than in the room outside of me is where I keep my pressing station. I have a couple of long boxes from the 100K collection, a couple of short boxes that are neatly organized in the room outside of here. Then we have some packing materials because my wife does a lot of sales, and then I also do sales. So we have some packing material out there. And then there's the occasional box of comics strategically located in various places, but no other comic related stuff. It is all in here where it is safe and protected behind lock and key. So scrolling through the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Good deal on the comic room. Yeah, it worked out to my favor because I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Before we moved in here, what happened is my comic book collection was broken into multiple chunks. There were a couple of short boxes in my daughter's closet, a couple of short boxes in my son's closet, a couple in the hall closet, and then several in the garage. My collection was like spread out everywhere. And we lived in a really little house. And so it's like, okay, we buy this house. She was like, you should have some dedicated space for yourself. And I was like, cool. All the motivation that I need to buy a house. So it actually worked out quite nice. But what is this? Jeff says, I like to see that collection that Reggie's talking about. Are you talking about the 100K collection? If you are, if you do a search for Regie Collects 100K collection or Regie Collects I Bought a Collection, you can actually see multiple videos in which I've actually I literally show you the comic book collection, the 100K collection that I recently purchased. And then if you watch any of the Digging in My Shorts, pun intended, Digging in My Shorts videos, you will see books from that collection. So yeah, that is up there and available to you guys. All right. So anyway, I am actually going to wrap this thing up. I'm getting hungry. And maybe I'll have menu 9 beef stew, MRE. Maybe I'll have a little bit of that, or maybe I'll have the maple sausage menu 17. I don't know. I'm feeling frisky. Maybe I'll just have both. But I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me a little bit here on the YouTube machine and also on Twitch. I appreciate both of you guys kind of hanging out. If you guys need to reach out to me, you can certainly do that. And the best way to actually get me is on Instagram. That is like my preferred way to engage people, primarily because I have the ability to respond to you both in text form, in voice note form, but also in video. And so when people send emails, it's a little hard for me to like give you a really true, robust response because I don't have a whole lot of time to peck out and then go back and read it 12 times to make sure that I spelled everything correctly and my grammar wasn't messed up. It's much easier if it's on Instagram because I can verbally kind of convey my thoughts to you in a much more succinct and concise manner. But If you need to reach out to me, you can do that on Instagram at Regie Collects. And if you have to send me an email, you can do that too. And that email address is Regie@RegieCollects.com. And like I said, if you're feeling frisky, you can always head over to the website, RegieCollects.com. There's a ton of great information over there on the website, including all of those discount codes that I mentioned to you guys earlier today. With that said, if you need me, I'm not too hard to find. Take care.